For me personally, I find it easy to forget that people that are non-Christians that look like they have their life all together, to forget that their life is not all together. And I think that's can be an issue because that removes the incentive to think about ministering to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it also can remove the incentive to stay a Christian yourself, or to see the value in Christianity yourself. Because if your life is whole without God, then why do you need God?
Right.
And so, but I think we need to realize that that's an illusion. And I think most people come to a point in their life that they come to terms with that.
And that's something that I think both Solomon and Ecclesiastes and in a few of the Psalms, different psalmists kind of mention is that here the righteous, are living in poverty and, they're having very hard lives. And then the wicked are living these, wonderful, glorious, they look really fun kind of lives. And, people throughout the Bible have just kind of asked, like, how can this be,
Yeah.
And almost also kind of questioning almost like, did I make the right choice in doing this? But then in the end they realized, well, in the end, they are not actually going to be better off.
They died just the same way.
And then after that, then God judges for everything.
Yeah. But anyway, it's good for us to remember that that non-Christians do not still have a hole in their life, because I think as humans we all long for a sense of purpose, and if we don't remember that we should remember that we have it. We as Christians possess what everybody in the deepest part of their heart longs for at some point. And we shouldn't forget that because we should be proclaiming, in light of that, we should be proclaiming to the world we have it. We have the purpose that does not change with the world's events. We have a purpose that is not temporary. It's not influenced by evil. Everlasting and eternal. It's not. Even if the world was to catch on fire, our calling is still here. We still are.
Our lives could be radically changed, or our physical lives, our exterior lives could be radically changed by something, and in theory we could continue on just all the same. And if you look throughout the New Testament, that's what was being happen to the first century church, is that Christians were being killed, their property was being stolen, all these things were happening, and yet they were still doing it joyfully,
Mm-hmm.
And
so basically, as Christians, we have a purpose that is not bound by the boundaries of this world, by the boundaries of this life, by death, by anything that can happen to us here on earth. Our calling, our purpose supersedes all of that. And so from that, we can realize that no matter what happens to us, be it persecution like the early church had, be it death, anything that can happen to us does not taking our, as if somebody has written somewhere, do not be afraid of the one who can kill your body, but be afraid of the one that can steal your soul. Basically,
I think that's in Luke and probably a couple other places, but
yeah, basically, we do not be afraid of anybody because we have a purpose that is our calling is not stopped by death. It's not stopped if this world bursts into flames. It's whatever people can do to us here on earth does not affect it. And I think it's important for us to remember that, because if we live in light of that, I think that can give us many. I think that we should be full of joy if we fully recognize that. If you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we do not have to worry about anything that could happen to us, and so that's where everlasting joy should come from.
And it's a very different perspective than most of us even have. Than I would say than even I have on a daily basis. It's not this this mentality of necessarily that the physical things. You shouldn't just be afraid about them. You shouldn't get caught up in them. You shouldn't worry about them. It's not something that we often have, even though that's kind of what we should have when we think about it.
Yeah, but if we really think about the fact that we are not bound by anything on this earth, there's nothing that we should worry us at all. I think that's where joy comes from, is the realization that we are invincible to this earth. We do not have to worry. And so I think if we all were to consider that daily or consider that more often, that would increase our joy factor.
Quite possibly. I think so.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Salt of the Earth podcast. To watch the full episode, click the link in the description.